But for him to wait that long and to not understand what's going on, it's like, hey man, you may know Linux, but you don't know this application, right? We know the inside and outs of this application, and you probably know the system better than we do, and that's okay. But like, there has to be a point in time when raise your hand and you're like, hey, I need an adult, you know,
Right, right.
someone someone come help me.
And it might have been ego too that got in the way, for somebody like that. And I want to go back to your original example too, because we talk about another concept called the Swiss cheese effect. That's how one little problem can work its way through the cheese to become a big problem. An example was your database that was about to get written over by zeros. That would have been if that gentleman wasn't there to stop that and raise his hand and say, we got to pull the plug on this. That would be an example that of something that starts as a little problem and it just kind of works its way up, and before you know it, you got a great big problem.
Yeah.
So it's just it's fun. The more I think about this, the more I just shake my head and say we ought to be teaching this stuff in school, to kids. Really, it ought to be just a way of life for us. But I'll have to wait till they start working for me, I guess, to learn about it.
We really need to make the people that are coming into the field, we need to make them comfortable with failing.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I failed so many times at that first role. I failed
Yeah.
so many times in so many different ways. But by the end of my tenure there, I had the most robust troubleshooting guide that the company had ever seen, that they still use today, right? And the reason for that is because I failed so many extreme times. It's like, I dropped a database. Okay, well, these are the three things that you need to do within 30 seconds of doing that.
Right. Right.
And like, it goes through literally the entire process. And the only way that even that company had that knowledge is because I made the mistake. you know,
Well,
I
when you're
I
making
failed.
mistakes, you're learning.